Hello friends, today we're going to be looking at the brand new hero balances that are coming to the game this Friday, January 10th, and we're also going to look at a brand new feature that's on the Marvel Rival website that will help you decide on what hero to play. Stay tuned for all that. Alright, let's look at some of the hero adjustments that will be coming out on January 10th here in a couple days. Captain America. Steve will receive some enhanced survivability, allowing more frequent entering and exiting of combat. So, reduce the delay time for shield restoration after releasing Living Legend from 3 to 2. Reduce Liberty Rush cooldown from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. Increase base health from 650 to 675. And reduce the energy cost for releasing Freedom Charge ultimate ability from 3400 to 3100. Reduce the additional health provided per second to self after releasing it from 110 to 100. So trying to make them a little more viable in the meta. A little quicker here, shorter cooldowns, more health. And you're going to get your ultimate a little quicker. Let's go look at Doctor Strange. We'll be reducing the threat range and increasing the defense window of the Sorcerer Supreme. So they're going to add damage fall off to the Maelstrom of Madness, also the Gamma Maelstrom, starting at 5 meters and reducing to 70% at 8 meters. So a little less damage at farther range there, slightly decreasing the shield value recovery rate after releasing the shield of Seraphim from 80 per second to 70 per second. So when your shield needs to recover and build strength again, it's going to go a little bit slower. Let's look at Thor, the god of thunder. Could use some slightly increased survivability and improve the success rate of his ultimate ability. So his base health is going up 25 to 525. Added immunity to control effects during the God of Thunder, which is his ultimate ability. So I'm guessing he won't be able to be CC'd out of his ultimate ability there. Let's look at Hulk. Dr. Banner has been dominant, but some decreased sustained combat capability upon entering the battlefield will bring him more in line with the Vanguards. So they're going to reduce the indestructible guard gamma shield value for Hulk from 250 to 200. So that's a bubble that goes around him. So it's only going to be able to take 200 damage instead of 250, so a little bit weaker there. And then Venom, with increased survivability and the threat of his ultimate ability, the Symbiote Menace will strike fear into the back lines of all enemy teams. So they're going to increase the symbiotic resilience bonus health ratio gain per lost health point from 1 to 1.2. So his E, when he kind of gains that shield, over health, whatever you want to call it, he's going to get a little more of that. And then they're also going to increase the base damage of the Feast of the Abyss, which is his ultimate ability, from 40 to 50. So he's going to still do the 50% plus 50 on top of that. Duelist or DPS. Black Panther, we're going to slightly increase T'Challa's combat survivability, so reducing the additional health provided to self after refreshing vibranium marks with Spirit Rend from 40 to 30, and the upper limit of additional health provided from 120 to 75. So Black Panther is going to be slightly weaker. I'm sure the strategists are loving that one, so they don't get dive on the back line maybe quite as often. Black Widow Natasha was very much in need of optimization when evaluating the release experience of her abilities, as well as slightly increased to the threat of her ultimate ability. Black Widow, very weak, not played very much, so getting a buff here. Increasing the range of the first effect of Edge Dancer from 3 meter radius to 5 meter radius. Reducing the time required for Fleetfoot to recover from 0 stamina to full from 12 seconds to 4 seconds. So she's going to be getting that back very often. 8 seconds difference there. Reduce the time required for Electroplasma Explosion, her ultimate ability, to reach maximum power from 1 second to 0.6 seconds. So that'll charge up even faster. Hawkeye, probably one of the most dominant characters in the game right now, will be decreasing the medium long range damage capability, reducing the threatening combat radius, and slightly improving the close combat resistance for the Avenging Archers. So they're going to slightly reduce the spread angle between every 2 blast arrows, and then reduce the triggering distance of the passive ability Archer's Focus from 60 meters to 40 meters, reduce the maximum additional damage of the passive from 80 to 70. So I guess not quite the damage buff here, but maybe we'll see in a little bit if they do anything with his team-ups. Hela, the goddess of death, has been a menace and will slightly decreasing her combat strength. Looks like they're just going to reduce her base health from 275 to 250. So I hope they do something to her team up, which we'll go through later on. Magic, the Queen of Limbo, needed an increase to her threat after unleashing her ultimate ability. Increase on Brawl incursion damage in Darkchild form from 115 to 135. So a little bit of a buff there. Moon Knight, the Hand of Khonshu, will receive a slight increase to the threat of his ultimate ability. Increase the number of talents generated by the Hand of Khonshu, his ultimate ability, from 10 to 14. So there's going to be more spots of impact there, I guess, coming over to his ultimate. Increase the explosion radius of each talent from 4 meters to 5 meters. So pretty big buff there to Moon Knight's ultimate. Namor. We're optimizing the throwing field of Namor's eggs. Adjust the throwing field of Monstro Spawn or Frozen Spawn. Now Namor can more accurately throw them to the desired location. If you play Namor now, it's kind of a weird lob, and if you're trying to throw it to somewhere high, you don't have very much room to throw that. So definitely interested to see what that's going to feel like. If it's going to be kind of more of a direct throw. Psylocke will be providing more options for other heroes to counter the Demon Slayer's ultimate. So how can they counter it? Now the Dance of the Butterfly, which is the ultimate ability. We'll check for barriers, including Magneto's Metal Bulwark, which I'm guessing is the bubble. Hulk's Indestructible Guard, which is the bubble. So maybe the bubbles will protect more against Psylocke's ultimate. The Punisher. We're slightly increasing the damage capability of Frank's weapon. Okay, his name is Frank. Slightly reduce the spread of Deliverance, which is the assault rifle, and Adjudication, which is the shotgun. So a little tighter spread means more pellets going into the enemy. Scarlet Witch, we're increasing Wanda's combat strength when she's facing duelists and strategists. So Wanda does more damage against tanks, but is a little weaker against duelists and strategists because her damage is based off of the health of the enemies. So increased chaos controls fixed damage from 50 per second to 60, her primary weapon. Reduce the percentage damage per second from 5% to 3%, and increase Chetan's burst projectile damage from 30 to 35. So that's more of her long range one. So a little buff there. Storm, another one that doesn't get played very often, kind of weak right now. The Weather Witch needed an overall increase to her damage capability. We're also optimizing the feel of her left click projectile and the release experience of her ultimate ability. Increased Wind Blade projectile speed from 100 meters per second to 150 meters per second, and left click damage from 50 to 55. So quite a bit increase there in the speed of her projectile. Increased Bolt Rush damage from 70 to 80, and then after releasing Omega Hurricane, which is the ultimate ability, the bonus health provided for herself will be increased from 350 to 450. Moreover, following its conclusion, the extra health will no longer vanish instantly, but will instead diminish at a rate of 100 per second. So coming out of the ultimate, she's going to have more health, and is going to sustain a little longer because it's not going to all just vanish. It'll diminish slowly. So that'll be very interesting. I know she was pretty... people were trying her in the early access testing, whatever you want to call it, the other night. And she was looking pretty strong. So Squirrel Girl, we're increasing the threat of Doreen and her furry friends in her ultimate ability. Squirrel Girl, good in tight quarters, convoys, convergence, but her ultimate very lacking. When that thing came out, I don't think anyone was ever scared. So addition of a new effect to the Unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami, her ultimate abilities. The squirrels will rush towards the nearest enemy after bouncing instead of bouncing randomly. So when it bounces off of something, it's going to head to someone, which is a pretty good buff. Reduce the Squirrel Tsunami health from 600 to 300, but it is going to be pretty weak, so aim at it, shoot it, you might be able to kill it. Winter Soldier will be adjusting Bucky by decreasing his long-range combat strength and increasing his survivability in medium to close-range combat. So we're increasing the bonus health provided by Bionic Hook and Tainted Voltage from 30 to 40. So when using those abilities, you're going to get 40 health. Increase Rotter Stern's projectile damage from 70 to 75. That's his main gun. Reduce the area damage from 70 to 65 and reduce damage decay from 65% at 40 meters to 60%. Increase base health from 250 to 275. So, reduced a little bit of damage, area damage, but otherwise, a couple buffs there. Wolverine. Logan will receive an increase to basic combat strength, but a slight decrease to the additional survivability after activating Undying Animal. So, increases base health from 300 to 350 and reducing the damage reduction ratio provided by Undying Animal from 50 to 40. So usually a lot of Wolverine players will activate that ability before they go in, so they take less damage. Now they're going to take a slightly more damage. Strategist Cloak and Dagger, Ty and Tandy will receive an increase to their healing capability as well as an expansion to the coverage area of their ultimate ability. Reduce Dagger Storm cooldown from 15 seconds to 12 seconds. So that's the bubble that Dagger throws out, and increase the number of dashes in Eternal Bond, the ultimate ability, from 3 to 4. That's actually a pretty big buff there, because each one of those dashes do about 220 healing. So now if you stack all 4 on top of each other, it's going to do 880 healing per second, which is a massive amount. You'll be able to withstand quite a bit of stuff there. We'll be adjusting the range for his ultimate. We'll be adjusting the range of his ultimate ability so it now better fits the warning marker. In addition, we'll also be increasing his healing capabilities. So adjust its Jeff's ultimate ability range from 10 meter sphere to a 10 meter radius and only 8 meters high cylindrical spell field. So a lot of times people were jumping up or floating up in the air, rising up in the air, and they'd still get sucked into it, or they'd be, I don't know, on a bridge or something, and they still get sucked into it. So as long as you're more than 5 meters high, you should be safe. Increase the healing of Joyful Splash, his main healing, from 140 seconds per second to 150 per second. Luna Snow, probably one of the most dominant healers in the game right now. Well, we've enjoyed her dropping the base. We've made adjustments to Luna's ultimate ability to prevent players from abusing its healing capabilities. Increase the interval for switching between healing and damage in Fate of Both Worlds, which is the ultimate, from 0.1 seconds to 0.5 seconds. So I'm sure you're seeing a lot of people just spamming between healing damage, healing damage, healing damage. Now there will be a little bit of interval and spacing between that, so you won't be able to flip so often. Mantis will be making Mantis a bit less fleet-footed, reducing her roaming support capabilities. So when in her passive, when she's not taking damage and she's consuming the life orbs, her movement boost is going to decrease from 2.5 meters a second to 1.5 meters a second. So she won't be able to run around quite as fast. Rocket Raccoon. Rocket could use an enhancement to his healing capability. Increase the healing of Repair Mode, which is his main healing, the little yellow orbs that shoot out, 60 per second to 70 per second. So there are those individual ones. Now let's get into some team up abilities. So there was rumors that the team up abilities would change for season 1. It looks like they are keeping the same team up abilities. Obviously we haven't seen Invisible Woman or Mr. Fantastic's team up abilities yet. There was in the early access, in the description of one of them, I think for Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic, it said it affected the entire Fantastic Four. So maybe when we get the other 2 heroes, they'll all be in one team up. And it was basically Invisible Woman would grant a shield, and Mr. Fantastic would be able to wear a shield where he wouldn't take any damage. So maybe the other Fantastic Four characters will get that also. Let's look at the team up abilities right now, what they have adjusted. Hawkeye, reduce Hawkeye's season bonus which is his damage bonus from 20% to 15%. So a little more damage. This is the side that they did it on instead of doing it straight to the character. But these seasonal bonuses, if you do not know, even if it's not part, even if there's not a Black Widow on the team, Hawkeye still gets that seasonal bonus. Okay, so it doesn't only go into effect when Black Widow is on your team. Hawkeye always has a seasonal bonus. So they're reducing some damage there. Go down to Hela. Same thing with Hela, reducing the seasonal bonus from 20 to 15%. Let's look at Luna Snow and Namor. We'll be increasing the threat of Namor's frozen spawn. So Namor, now on this one, Luna Snow has to be on the team for Namor to get this. Namor gets the frozen spawn, the octopus, as some players would call it. So now he has 3 right off the bat. He has 2 normal ones and a frozen one. So increasing the spawn damage from 25 to 27. Increasing the frozen spawn slowing effect applied to hit enemies from 25% to 30%, and increasing berserk state. So if you hit him with the right click or hit him in the headshot, berserk state frozen spawn damage from 16 to 18. That's where it shoots really fast. So really good buff here to Namor. Rocket Raccoon. So when Punisher and Winter Soldier are on the team, Rocket can throw down the ammo invention, which is basically unlimited ammo for a amount of time for Winter Soldier and Punisher, as long as they stay around that beacon. So that cooldown is reduced to 40 seconds from 45 seconds. Scarlet Witch and Magneto. Magneto's getting a little bit of a buff. We didn't see him in any of the balance changes up above, but he's getting a little buff here. When Scarlet Witch is in the game, metallic fusion, which is basically the sword melee. The projectile damage is increasing from 55 to 60, and the spell field damage is increasing from 30 to 35. So a buff there. And then we go to Thor. Actually, Storm will be getting this buff, another buff for Storm when Captain America and Thor are in the game there. Reduce the cooldown of Charge Gale from 20 seconds to 15 seconds, and increase the damage of Charge Gale from 50 to 55. Let us know down in the comments down below what you think of these changes. And next, we're going to look at a really cool feature on the Marvel Rivals website that was just added recently. All right, really cool feature added to the Marvel Rivals website today is this Hero Hot List. You can look at pick rates and win rates for all the heroes. You can filter it by PC or console, quick play or competitive. You can also do role, duelist, strategist, vanguard. If you pick competitive, then you can also filter it by rank here. So I'm going to put it at PC and competitive. We'll look at through all roles and all ranks. Highest picker rate, Luna Snow, then Cloak and Dagger and Mantis, strategist, not surprising there. If we sort it by win rate for all ranks, Mantis is at 55%, Hela 54%, Loki, pretty underrated here, 53%. Let's filter it by Grandmaster and just go off of roles here. Let's start with the Vanguard pick rates. Doctor Strange, Magneto, and Groot, not surprising there. Hulk would probably be higher, but he gets banned quite a bit. If we look at win rates, Hulk is at 54%. That's probably why he gets banned quite a bit. Doctor Strange at 51%, and Penny Parker, kind of surprising there, at 50% win rate when you're at Grandmaster or above. Let's look at duelist pick rates. Psylocke, Punisher, Namor, Winter Soldier. Win rates, Magic, Iron Fist, but Iron Fist is at 54%, but he's only picked 1.6% of the time, so not a very large sample size there. Iron Man, when Hulk and Iron Man aren't getting, or one or the other aren't getting banned, 52% win rate. A lot of high mobility characters in this top 5: Magic, Iron Fist, Black Panther, Wolverine. So some pretty good win rate there. And now let's go look at strategists. Pick rate, Mantis, Luna Snow leading it along the way with Cloak and Dagger. Not surprising there. Win rates, Adam Warlock, kind of small sample size with 8%, but a 53% win rate is pretty big. Mantis, and then Rocket also up there. Luna Snow at 50%, but she does have a pretty large sample size at 21%. But Very cool here. You can dive in. If you're a gold player, you can see who has the largest win rate. Really sorted out here. Really cool feature. This is on the Marvel Rivals website. If you go under Heroes at the top and then go to Hero Hot List. Not exactly sure how often they'll be updating this. This was updated 2 days ago. Maybe a couple times a week, maybe once a week, something like that. But very cool here. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button and check out this video here.